Hello, this is Mr. Agbamu Idonogrene. I'm here to solve one of the questions you gave me to assist you in solving. So this is the first question. You can see the question on this side. It's talking about a sample of 180 books was selected from a school library, and this is a table that shows the number of times the books were borrowed in the academic year 1979 to 1980. So without wasting time, let's go straight to the solution. The first part says we should state the modal class of the distribution. Then the distribution, you can see the table is a grouped frequency table, and we have some intervals here of the values of the number of books that are present in that library. So the number that they borrowed, then from 1 to 5, they borrowed about 9 of them. See, then 6 to 10, they borrowed 20, just like that. You know the interpretation of frequency, how many times the numbers appear. So from 1 to 5, they borrowed 9. Then 6 to 10, they borrowed 20, just like that till the end, which is 36 to 40. And the class with the highest frequency is going to be the modal class. So if you go to the frequency, you'll see that 42 is the highest frequency here, and that is 16 to 20, and that is why the modal class is 16 to 20, because it has the highest frequency. And that is the end of this first part of the question. Then the second part says we should draw a cumulative frequency curve to illustrate the distribution. So before you can get the cumulative frequency curve, you need to prepare a table, which is the cumulative frequency table. And you can see the column for the cumulative frequency on this side. Then the interval and the frequency are also there. Then you need the first frequency value, which is 9. You move it to the cumulative frequency column here. Then you start adding it alternatively like this, which is 9 plus 25. Sorry, 9 plus 20 will give you 29. Then 29 plus 32 will give you 62, just like that. 62 plus 42 will give you 103. Then plus 35, 138. Then 138 plus 22, 160. 160 plus 15, 175. Then 175 plus 8 and plus 5 will give you 180. And if you add it very well, you will see that the total frequency, which is 180 here, must be equal to the last cumulative frequency table value here. Then when you do that, the next thing you need to do is to prepare a class boundary, because to plot a cumulative frequency curve, we need the class boundary. We can't use interval, because if you look at the upper class interval of this first class here, which is 5, then if you move to the next class, you'll see that from 5 to 6 there's a gap. We still have some decimal difference, that is from 5.1 down to 5.9 before you get to 6. The same thing with 10 here. We have 10.1 down to 10.9 before you get to 11. So due to this fact, now we can't use interval to plot our cumulative frequency curve. Instead, we use class boundary. If you look at the class boundary, you can see that the upper class boundary stops at 5.5, and the next one begins from 5.5. So with this one, you can easily access all the values of the numbers that are being borrowed now from the cumulative frequency. Now you can see that 9 stop at 5.5 and 29 begins from there, 5.5, so that the table will be uniform and everything will go smoothly as we plot the graph. Unlike this, interval will not give you a smooth curve and error may enter your work. Then one thing you need to know is, how do we get the class boundary column here? All you just need to do is, all the lower intervals here, you subtract 0.5, just like this. We say 1 minus 0.5, you can see it here. So when you subtract 0.5 from each of them, you will see your result, which is equals to 0.5. So that's how I got the 0.5. Then all the upper class, you need to add 0.5 to all of them, so that you can get this upper class boundary. For example, if I do, let me do for this class, the upper class boundary of this class is 15. So I just need to say 15 plus 0.5, and that one will give me 15.5. You can see how we got 15.5. So all the upper class boundary will be added to 0.5, then all the lower class boundaries subtract 0.5. So take note of that. For example, if I do for this class of 21 to 25, you see that 21 minus 0.5 is going to be equals to 20.5. That's how we got this. And it will keep going from one class to the next. The upper will be the lower of the next class, the upper will be the lower of the next class, the upper will be the lower of the next class, just like that. In this way, you will end up with the last interval class, which is 40, and in this place it will be 40.5. So take note of this. Now let's go straight to the curve. So how do we draw this curve? You need your graph paper to draw the cumulative frequency curve. And in the graph paper, your cumulative frequency column here, that this column is going to be your y-axis. Then your class boundary, this column is going to be your x-axis. So I've already set the graph down. Let me show you the graph. So you see that I labeled the cumulative frequency curve as my y-axis. Then I took a proper scale. So let me show you the graph so that you can see what we are talking about. So this is the graph I want to use to plot the cumulative frequency curve. You can see the y-axis. The y-axis is the cumulative frequency column there. So I took a scale of 2 centimeter to represent 20 units. You can see the intervals are increasing by 20 units on the y-axis. You can see this is from 0 to 20, 40, 60, 80, just down to 180. So I use 20 units so that the graph will be easy for me to plot. So you take note of that. You can see the value, so you need to take a proper scale. So I took 20 unit scale for that graph to be easy. So this one will be on your y-axis, then the class boundary is going to be on the x-axis. So you don't need any scale for the class boundary, just follow the interval class from 0.5 to 5.5, that is the first class, and the next class begins from there, 5.5 to 10.5 till you get to 40.5, and that is this. You can see it from 0.5 to 5.5. This is the first class, and I need to locate it and plot it on the graph. Then from 5.5 to 10.5, just like that till you get to 40.5. So without wasting time, let's go straight to plotting of this graph. So I have my table. Let's look at the table again. So the first value here is 9. So when the cumulative frequency is 9, the first class is 0.5 to 5.5. So let's locate this on the graph. So if I go to my graph, let me get my points. So let me use, okay, I only need the, okay, it's okay like this. Let me see. Alright, so this is the first point. So we said 9. So if this is 20, you know that the middle, this is 10, should be somewhere here. So 9 should be around this place. You know this is 20 centimeter, 20 unit graph. So you should know how to count in between. If this is 0, this should be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So you should know how to count your graph. Very, very important. So the first class, when the cumulative frequency is 9, the class interval is 0.5 to 5.5. So you mark it somewhere here. So this place, this value should be here. Take note of this first point. So that is that. So let's keep going. Then let's go to the table. The next is 29 to 10.5. That's from 5.5 to 10.5. So I have 29 to 10.5. I will mark it on that place. So 29, if this is 20, so we are going to have 25, 30, so 29 should be somewhere here. So you mark this place, take note of that, take note of this, so that is that. Then the next table is 61 to 15.5. So it says 61 to 15.5. So let's go now. 61, so this is 60, so 65 should be somewhere here, so 61 should be close to 60, so around this place. So we mark it somewhere there. So take note of this. Let's move it up a little. Okay, so that is that. Then the next value is 103 to 20.5. So 103 to 20.5. So this is 20.5. So this is 100. Remember we are counting in 5. So 103 should be somewhere here. So we mark there. Let me move it to the right position. Let me somewhere here. 103 should be somewhere here on our graph. Then the next value is, let's go to our table, which is 138 to 25.5. 138 to 25.5. So 120 to 25, 30, 35. So this is 120. Let's count again. 120, 125, 130, 135, 125, 130, 135, 140. Am I having error in this my measurement? Let me see. 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, I mean, this is not actually supposed. Let me see. 5, 10, 15, 20. I missed this counting system. I need to check it well to avoid mistake. So if you are maintaining 20 interval, that means this first box is supposed to be 20 divided by 5 now. Okay, that is 4. Sorry, we're supposed to be counting in 4. This is supposed to be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So we're supposed to be counting in 4. Let me start again so that we'll avoid mistake. So the first table is 9 to 5.5. So 9 to 5. Okay, this is still in order. This is still in order. So 8 should be somewhere here. So 8 should be somewhere. So sorry, 9 should be still somewhere here. We are in order because we are counting 4, 8. Okay, 9 should be above. Sorry, 9 should be somewhere here. Okay, then the next table is 29 to 10. So this is 29. So let's adjust it now. 29, this is 24, 28. So 29 should be somewhere here. Then 32, 36, 40. Sorry for that, we are counting in 4. Very important. We don't need to make mistake. Then the next table is 61. So this is for 61. So I think this one is still okay. This one is still okay. So 61 should be around this place. Let me move down a little. Okay, so 61 should be somewhere here. Then the next table is 103. So for 103, so this is 100. So 104 should be, so 104 should be the next mark. So 103, so 104 is here. So 103 should be very close. So somewhere here should be okay. I think we're in order now. So let's go to 138 to 25.5. So 138 to get our point. 138. So this is 120. Remember, we are counting in 4s. 124, 128, 132, 138 should be somewhere here. Yes, 138. So we're in order. Then 160 to 30. So let's look for 160. So this one should be easy to locate. 160 is here, and 160. Then 138 is this. Then let's move. Then after 160, the next one is 175. Sorry, I made mistake in my labeling. Something is missing. Let me put the value, which is 30.5. Okay, need to move this to here. Sorry for that. Okay, so after 25.5 supposed to be 30.5. So 30.5 is 160, then 35.5, let's get the value. So 35.5 is 175. So this is 164, 168, 172. So 175 should be somewhere here. Then the last number is 40 to 180, which is here. Stop here. And that is the end of the graph. You can see your cumulative frequency curve. And if you plot your cumulative frequency curve very well, it will give you a curve like S shape. You can see that the shape is correct now. Then all I need to do, I need to draw a smooth curve. Let me take a freehand shape here. So it may not be so fine, but I just wanted to follow it. See, just have a curve. Let me remove this. This one is not giving me the kind of curve I want. Let me delete this. Okay, let me take this other curve. Let me take this one of pen. I think this one may be much better. Draw your curve from the zero. Just use your pencil. If you have a French curve should be better. So you join the points, you follow it gradually. I decided to use my freehand because this is how you are going to do it inside your graph paper. So you can see the way I followed it. Then you end here. So that is it. So this is the cumulative frequency curve. The next thing is to use it to answer the question they require from us. Now, what is the question they ask under it? They say use your curve to estimate the median of the distribution. You know, for us to get median is total frequency divided by 2. So 180 divided by 2, so it's going to be 90. You can see, then come to your graph, look for 90 on this cumulative frequency side. This is 80, so 90 should be somewhere here. If this is 80, if this is 80, you have 84, 88, so 90 should be at the middle, then 92, before 96, then 100. So 90 is at the middle. So let me get my line to connect it. So let me do some editing. Okay, so you use broken lines, and I want a hidden line. So 90 should be somewhere here. So from here, trace it to where it will meet the graph. So it meet the curve somewhere here. Then from here, then from here you trace down. Anywhere it touches here is your median. Yes, so that is it. Let me hide this point. Okay, let me hide this. Don't show me this. Let me hide this. Don't show me this. Then let me just leave this because this is the final answer. Then it's now left for you to read it. So the median is from 90 here. You trace it to the graph. Anywhere it touches the graph, you trace down and you get your answer. So you read this place. If we are maintaining 55 and 15.5 to 20.5, so this is the median class, 15.5 to 20.5. Then let's read the answer here. So if this is 15.5, you have 16.5, 17.5, 18.5. So the next point here is 19.5. So I think we can estimate this place to be approximately, let me see, so 16, 17, 18. So we can say 18 points, maybe 18 point. If this is 18.5, you can approximate this one to be 18 point, maybe can I say 18.5, maybe 18.9, just approximate 18.9. So you can just write it, the median is equals to 18.9, just an approximate value. That's why the question says use your curve to estimate. You are estimating it, but it should be close. So you can say median. Okay, let me put it somewhere here. No, it cannot be typed on that place. So median is equals to, sorry, let me adjust my, so median is equals to 18.9. so that is the median. Then let's go back and see. So just count your graph, follow your graph very well, count it, read your value here. So you should have approximately 18.9, like what I have here. Then the other part of the question says the percentage of the sample of books borrowed more than 23 times. So to get that one, now you go to your class interval. You know, this is where we have 23. So books that are borrowed more than 23 times. So if 23 should be somewhere here, so 23 should be somewhere on this place. So 23 more than, so more than 23 and above. So you can only get that accurately from your graph. So you also get your points. So you get your line. So this is 20. So this is 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So 21, 22. So this is 23. So somewhere here. So 23 and above should be somewhere here. You mark it. You take it up anywhere it touches the graph. It touches it somewhere here. Then you take it there. You take it from here. You move. So to somewhere here. So let me adjust it. So this place should come up a little, need to be straight. So this is the value now and above. So if we read on this graph, if this is 120, you know we are counting in 4, I can take 122 since it's almost at the middle. So take note of that. Let me hide all these points. Let me hide this point. So this is 23. If you see the 23, you rise up. You can see 23 will touch here somewhere here, then you move. So 22. So and the question asks for percentage. So since it's around 22 here, sorry, 122, then you come and do your final calculation. Then the percentage of the sample of books borrowed more than 23 times, they are 20. Wait, let me see the question says more than 23 times. Okay, and the graph, so this is from here and above. So for us to get the ones that are more than 23 times, you know, from 0 to this point is 122. So we are going to subtract 180 minus 122 because they start from here and above, you know, which is from this place and above. So how do I get the values from here up to 40? So I'm going to get it from 120 up to this place. So for me to easily get the values now, I need to subtract 180 minus 120 so that I can get this short interval. The number here are those numbers that got 23 and above. So it will be 180 minus 122. Then divide by 180 times 100, since we are going to percentage. So the percentage is going to be equals to 180 minus 122. Take note of this. Then whatever you have here, you need to divide it by the total 180, then times your result. Times your result by 100. So final answer should be what? So let me just do it here very fast. So 180 minus 122 should be 58. Then 58 divided by 180, then times 100. So that is 32, approximately 32%. So your answer is going to be, the percentage is going to be 32%. So take note of that. So this is the answer of the first question. So this is the answer of the first question. Percentage borrowed more than 23 times. You see the way I did it from the graph. You look for 23 on this class boundary, trace it up, so you will get the numbers, and I got 122 on my own graph. Then for us to get from 122 and above, so you need to subtract 180 minus 122 so that you get the numbers in between, then divide by total 180 times 100. So that is the solution of this first question. I hope you understand this first question. Let me settle down and prepare the second question for you to follow it very well. So thank you for listening.